But you brought up something interesting. You brought up that incident in school where one of your friends told you, we don't view you as the other person, like one of us.
Yes.
In Questions for Ara, the poet Ijeoma Umebenyo has written this poem. She's written these following words where she said, "So here you are, too foreign for home, too foreign for here, never enough for both." Have you ever felt this? I know I have, as this second generation kid, this third culture kid. I grew up in the Middle East to parents of Indian origin as well. And I've always to date, I don't completely connect with Indians from India because I haven't grown up there. And I'm definitely not Arab, right? So I'm always in this limbo between too foreign for home, too foreign for here. Did you feel this as well, especially when you moved to India in 2005? Or did you just assimilate immediately?
No, I felt too. So another thing is that there are South African Indians in South Africa. Yeah. We were not South African Indians. We were fresh off the boat Indians. I'm a first generation Indian there. And so even the South African Indian culture in South Africa is very foreign to me. It's another subculture which I don't belong to. Like tomorrow, if they did a show about Indian South Africans, I can't audition for it because I don't have the accent and I don't have the aesthetic of an Indian South African. It's a subculture there. So I can't play that part. So I felt too Indian for South Africa, even as an Indian South African, not just because of the white, but also because the Indian subculture was so different. So I felt too Indian for South Africa, and then I moved to India, and I felt too South African for India. And so that's what my whole special is about. It's called I Found My People. And that's what I'm writing about, exactly that sentiment and those words. Too foreign for home, too foreign for here, too foreign for there. Too foreign for everywhere. That's
exactly the poem.
That's exactly the poem. But that's exactly it. I found my people, and that's why. Where are my people? When I belong to two countries, and I come from, and so many people in the world go through that. Yeah. But also the added for me. I've also added that I'm a single woman who's not married, so my people are not even. I don't even have an immediate family. So in general, when you come from two different places, when you are living this unconventional life, then who are your people? And that's what my special is exploring.
You're also a Bori from Gujarat, which you've only expressed surprise that even today, even Indians are still surprised to hear sometimes that
when I say I'm Muslims from
Gujarat, right? Do you think that added to the sense of alienation as well?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I was shocked that people don't get that your ethnicity and your religion are two different things. Yeah. And that's even with the whole Palestine-Israel thing, that's the same thing. That people don't get that the land that you're from and the religion that you follow are two different things. It's not the same thing. I'm where am I supposed to, even if I'm Muslim, where am I supposed to be? I can only be from Gujarat. That's where my blood, that's where my ancestors are from. My genes are Gujarati. That is why I have, at the age of 40, flabby arms. If that doesn't tell you I'm Gujarati, then what else tells you?
That tells?
Yeah.
That is the biggest mark.
I mean, for women, for a Gujarati woman. And my business acumen
that was second on the list.
Money, regardless of my religion.
Can't believe business came second, but okay. Yeah. We know where your priority list lies.
Yeah, my priority is in getting my flabby arms in check.
Do you think, you often said that comedians are the voice of the people. Do you think for you there's this extra level of difficulty because before you start even becoming the voice of the people, you have to become the people first,
Exactly.
That was something you did face?
That's something I faced.
Okay.
But you know what? Recently, I was going through I was thinking about this because I was even when I was making my content, and I've stopped making content online because I've struggled with who am I talking to? Am I talking to Americans because I want to grow my audience internationally? So am I talking to a new international audience that I want to build? Am I talking to the followers who already follow me from India? Kaneez, Masi, and while I was in India, I did take on a very Indian persona to kind of fight the South Africanness that existed within me. So I tried to pander even more to Indians. Yeah. And I was I don't want to pander anymore to anybody, not to anyone anymore, not to white people, not to black people, not to Indians. I don't want to pander anymore. I want my voice to now come out. And so that whole quest to find out who am I talking to, I kind of came up with the conclusion recently where I was I think who I'm talking to are women, a lot of women. I know a lot of men follow me, a lot of men enjoy my comedy, and in general, female comedians have more male followers than any other kind of female artist. But I like the idea that it doesn't have to be any culture anymore. I like the idea that I'm talking to women. between the ages of 20 to 45 and just the life that they're going through. And maybe now I'm going to find more people also culturally like you who have lived in different cultures and who are bicultural, bi-national, all of that. So
Confused is the word I use.
Yeah, we're not
No,
confused.
for me, I'm the confused.
But we're not confused like the ABCDs in America. They're like another level confused.
We have that list of confusion
Exactly.
as well. Yeah.
Like, we're better than them.
But do you think, we spoke about, of course, there's a lot of disadvantages to not being in this limbo and not feeling like you resonate. But sometimes I feel I could make the case that it's also worked in my benefit. And you just spoke about speaking to women in general.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like if you constantly have this feeling of being the outsider, it allows you to really detach yourself from a lot of cultural aspects that might otherwise have been ingrained in you. You can develop an objective viewpoint on ideology of, let's say, political ideology, religion, because you didn't grow up with that milieu. Do you think that helped you, or the disadvantages were always higher?
No, absolutely. I think like because I don't belong to one country, like my sense of humanity is a little bit different. Like I'm like, oh, the whole world is like mine. Yeah. And I kind of care about the whole world in that sense. Like, I'm not saying, but I'm saying like it, I don't have any group of people that I would die for. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like I would die for everybody, kind of thing, So I think that way, like it's easier for me to not be so like dogmatic about my belief system, because I don't really have even religion. I don't even belong to any religion. It's not even like, I don't have like religion or a nationality or a specific cultural identity. Like I'm a bit of everything. Yeah. I'm a bit of everything. And so, I think that helps in terms of just being like more open to just being, What was your question?
That was whether it's worked in your advantage or not, whether you think the advantages have outweighed the disadvantages.
Yeah. The disadvantage is that you don't have an immediate community.
Yeah. The sense of alienation, loneliness.
And you still don't have an immediate community. And so you have to build that.
Yeah.
Shh, we're busy shooting a podcast.
Amtrak waits for no one.
Amtrak. God, I'm sorry about this, guys. Are you done? Okay, so as I was saying...
usually I cut it, but this time I'm going to keep it.
As I was saying... what was I saying? This is fun building.
About the advantages and disadvantages.
So I have to build my own community. That's the only thing. Which I'm also happy doing. So, yeah, I'm good.